Hey there, Soul Shines. It's Michelle here, and today is Creative Expressions. And I will warn you ahead of time that some of the subject matter I will be talking about today may get really emotional. It's my real life. And also, because I'm hoping that because I started recording this and then I just blabbed and blabbed and blabbed and blabbed, I'm hoping I got some of the initial stuff off of it so you guys don't have to hear it all. But also, it caused me to have a headache. So, let's hope we can do this. I want to talk about finished objects first, then works in progress, and then I will talk about why it's been probably by the time you watch this, 4 weeks since I published it. And today's Thursday, so it'll be 4 weeks Monday. So I'll talk about why and what's going on in life. So finished objects, because it's a happier subject. I have my sweater. It is done. I'm going to place a picture of me. Okay, so I will give you a forewarning of this picture, or an explanation about it. You can see a yarn tail coming. I'm holding the skein. The sweater is done except for cutting off and sewing in the things. I think what I did was take the picture to kind of see if I liked the length of it, which is why the yarn was still attached. But I've never gotten better pictures since. And honestly, at this point in time, I won't unless I happen to be wearing it somewhere and somebody takes a picture of me. It is really fun. I really like it. It's unique. I got a lot of comments about it. So, yeah. So I have that. And I had leftover yarn. So I made a hat. And I'm going to post the pictures of my daughter wearing the hat. I was going to make it for me. It looks so adorable on her. The colors actually look a little better on her than they do me. I hate admitting that, but it's true. But the sweater is still mine. She may wear it eventually because I may get sick of it or whatever. I don't know. I didn't love how the hat turned out. Basically, I kind of made up the pattern as I went. And I do want to make another one. And I will kind of tweak some things. I may actually post it as a pattern, like my first knit pattern. We'll see how it goes, because I don't know, that would be fun to be like, here's a knit pattern. I probably would want to, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it and how it works out to whether it's a paid pattern or just a free pattern somewhere. Yeah, let me double check my thing. That is it. That's my finished work. Not finished work. My work's in progress. I decided I wanted to try some more. So the hat I made for my daughter is brim up. And then the hat, I decided I wanted to make kind of a beret style hat. And this is what I've got. It looks kind of funky because it just seems like it's just a big old circle, and it just seems like it's going out forever, and it seems like it's gonna be ridiculous. But truth is, and I'm hoping that it works, that I am not increasing. I have not been increasing for this long. I have another inch to do before I do the brim of just going around. And it will probably end up being another hat for my daughter, and you will probably absolutely love it. I have considered getting a round plastic canvas and putting it in there so it actually has something hard. This is acrylic yarn, so I can't felt it like I would, like you would a wool. It's not going to felt, so it's always going to be kind of a drapey thing. But it would be kind of fun to try a round plastic canvas in it and see how it looks. And maybe that would be something that my daughter could do sometimes and not other times. we'll look at that. So this is my works in progress, is my purple beret. That, as you can tell, is the same yarn. It's more from the leftovers. So I'm really excited about this. It's been a fun kind of my extra knitting project. I have 2 knitting projects going right now because I still have socks. Look at it, that's all I've gotten done. They're kind of, I really truly just kind of got done with socks. I made so many pairs of socks last year. And it was like almost the only thing I was knitting on. And now I'm like, oh, I get to play with other knitting things. And so the socks are kind of like, ugh, for me. But I mean, like, they're cute. They're fun. They're also for a boy who wears a size 12 shoe. A boy. He's 18. He's like 6'1". So I'm making progress. I hope to get those done. I'm kind of putting them as my, you gotta work on these. So that's knitting. That's what I have going on with knitting. So let's talk about the snakes. I have not done any more on the temperature snakes for my grandchildren. So they have not changed from last time, so I'm not going to show them. This is Millie, and I looked up the last day that I updated her was the 10th. So she's a week behind. She should be about that much longer. The temperatures are mostly this middle blue color, but there is some that go down into, in fact, quite a few that go down into the navy blue. The range for this is like this blue here, that's the middle blue, is 34 degrees Fahrenheit to like 47 degrees Fahrenheit. So it covers quite a bit in most of January. I ended up, it's hard to see, and I don't know if I can get it. This one right here looks a little bit different because it's got a sparkle on it. That was my son's birthday. So I have some embroidery floss here. Just a sparkly embroidery floss that I am running along with my yarn for my kids' birthdays and my birthdays. So the next one will be in April. So it'll be a while before we have more sparkle. And then the other one here, so the sparkle's down here, and then a few days later, I put a purple embroidery floss on one of the days and ran it along with it because, oh my gosh, I have these ranges, and although the bottom range is like everything that's 30 degrees and below, and this is all Fahrenheit, and this is for the high of the day, the highest temperature of every single day. So 33 and below is navy blue. And when I looked at the ranges back, and I was trying to be like, okay, last year these were the highs of each day, and what's the lowest of those? It was like 23, 22. For the last 3 or 4 years, that's been the lowest high. So like in January and February and December, like the coldest days, the high temperature was 22 or 23. And on the 31st, our high that day was 20 degrees. And so it was quite a bit lower than I expected. And so now I have this that's every day that is 20 degrees, the high for that day is 20 degrees or lower, it's going to get a purple mark. Hopefully that's the only one because holy cow, it's cold. But it has been cold. Our temperatures, because 32 degrees is freezing, and I kind of wish that I would have done the range instead of starting at 33 and lower. I wish I would have done 32 and lower, and so that everything that was navy is actual freezing temperature, because 32 degrees is what freezes, right? But I've decided everything that's 20 and below is going to also have a purple thread, but I really hope that this is the only one. But it's been cold. All of these days are the highest is either 33 or below, which means that basically we got freezing temperatures here. And then I'm going to do the same in the summer. The highest temperatures for the last few years have been 102 degrees Fahrenheit. And so if there's a temperature that's over 102, I'm going to, I think I'm going to say 104. I don't know why, that's just the number that I feel like marking 102 and 103 is not that big of a deal, but anything that's like 104 and higher in our area is kind of an extreme, so I would like to mark it. Now, they're not records, like the record highest temperature for January 31st was actually 10 degrees. So we didn't hit the record lows. We didn't hit records, but it's been really cold. Which is funny because the first part of the month was really warm. So everybody's like, oh, it's just a warm January. And I'm like, it's going to get cold. It's going to get cold. And it did. It got really cold. So we'll see how the rest of February goes in March. I'm actually really looking forward to getting up into the warmer temperatures. I'm looking forward to doing the pinks that I have. Anyway, so that's the temperature snakes. Like I said, I haven't worked on the grandkids ones. Part of it was the arm problems I was having. They're seeming to do pretty well. I'm also, when I am crocheting, kind of being careful about my crochet, like I talked about last time. So there's that. So another crochet project, Expression Fiber Arts, is doing some mystery knit-alongs and crochet-alongs. And I decided to join the crochet-along. And so we've had 2 clues. I think I did the first clue before my video last time. I'm not sure. I know I've shared the yarn. That yarn was really excited for me because that was a part of, somebody had given me a gift card to Hobby Lobby. And I'd bought a bunch of fabric. And I was really excited that I had enough to buy yarn for this project. So this is the 2 clues so far. I'm really excited. The next color is going to be kind of a rusty pinkish color. So I'm kind of excitedly waiting for the next clue. That's the one part I'm having a hard time with. It's like, oh, I have to wait. So, yeah. So right now I have a doily. It's supposed to be a shanket, which is, I guess, a shawl and a blanket. So you make it and you can fold it in half and wear as a shawl, or you can lay it out as a blanket. And is it a sport weight? It might be a sport weight yarn. I believe I talked about that last time. I talked about the 2-weight yarn and all the confusion and how the stores and the websites and like there's not a consistency with that, and so it's a little confusing, but I'm pretty sure that's sport weight. And then the last current actively working on project, I'm going to show you a picture of what the pattern is supposed to look like. I've been using this yarn here. Got it from the Dollar Tree. I actually loved the color so much. I think this color really does look good on me. In fact, I can go like this and show you. It looks really good on me. I ordered like a whole case of this, like 12 skeins. There's only like 109 yards in a thing. But I ordered a whole bunch because I love the color so much. And I'm like, I want that color. It's such a gorgeous color. So I tried doing the extra large. And I'm debating about either just making another one and giving this to one of my girls. Or undoing it and using a larger hook. Because this is what it looks like so far. And I have one more round that I have started here somewhere. So it has like one more set of loops around the bottom and then the straps, and that's it. So it's supposedly done. And it doesn't hang, it doesn't stretch out. It seems so tiny. And yes, I can put it on and it stretches out around me. And it looks like, I don't mind it stretched out around here, but it does look kind of funny. That's like all stretched here and then like all bunched down below. So I either have to use a larger hook size. And honestly, truly, I didn't test to see if I might gauge. I probably should. But I think I'm going to see how this looks on my girls. Before I do the straps, I'll have one of them put it on, like kind of hold it up around them and see if they like it. Because if they like it, I have plenty of yarn that I could make another one as long as I use like a much bigger hook to get more drape out of it and to get more size out of it. So I'm working on that, and either we'll have 2 of these to show you next time, or we'll have one of them because I'll undo and use this. I really do love this yarn, so it's like I just don't want to even give it to my girls. I'm just like, oh, I just love the color. I will do lots of things. I will make a scarf with it. I actually am making a hat. Probably going to be what I try the hat, like my daughter's hat. Because I was working on one and it wasn't working out right. Stressed me out. So I'm going to unravel all of that. And I think what I'm going to do is actually make a hat like my daughter's and work out some of the kinks that I was having problems with on that. And so have my hat be out of this yarn and then make a scarf out of this as well to wear with makeup. That's my plan. So we'll see how that happens, whether I just undo or scrap it all together. What happens? I don't know. All right. The other finished object, not the whips. Sewing. Oh my gosh, guys. I don't know. I did pull my sewing machine out. I just haven't set it up. I haven't sewed. And I'm like, what the heck? What is it going to take for me to do this? So I've set aside my least busy week each month as sewing week. So starting the day this video comes out, it's sewing week, which means that in order for me to work, the only thing I can work on not sewing is the socks. And that's because that's an overdue project. So if I'm sitting and watching a movie and can't really sew during that time, then I can work on knitting the socks. But all the other crochet things have to be on hold for the week. It's a commitment I'm making. I did decide also for this snake that I update on Sundays, which is why it's not updated, because last Sunday was crazy busy, so I didn't have time to work on it. And so this Sunday I'll have basically 2 weeks worth of knitting or crocheting to do to get it up to date. And that's going to be a Sunday thing. Every Sunday I update Millie. I'm not sure when I'm going to work on the grandkids snakes again. Just because I don't know. As long as they aren't behind Millie, I'm okay, because they're not going to be ready to be done until December anyway. But maybe what I will do is when I get my sewing projects done next week, if there's more time, then it will be work on the grandkids snakes, and kind of have that thing be like, if I accomplish what I wanted to sew for the week and then I have a few days, then I can work on snakes, and maybe that will work. And if that doesn't work out, we'll try something new. So yeah, that's kind of a little frustrated with myself on the whole sewing thing, because I wanted to get the sewing done. This is looking weird. I usually kind of tuck my t-shirt up in. I just noticed it. I'm like, usually kind of tuck it in. Try to have my t-shirt less visible. Has to have a t-shirt under it because of all the holes. So I kind of would like to make a sweater that doesn't have all the holes, but that's also another project. I'm so excited. When I get done with the hats, I am knitting sweaters, and I did knit a sweater once. My very, 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 very first ever knitting project was a little tiny baby sweater, and it was knit flat. And I enjoyed it. I don't remember how I knitted then. But there was a lot of things happening then. I also had brand new babies then. So I never actually did more with it. I don't even know what happened to that sweater. I hope I kept it. Because that was really cool. When some of my kids actually wore it, I was really excited about that. And so I haven't knit a sweater for myself or in the round or since. And I think it would be really, really fun. I would love to actually get to where, as grandchildren came, I knit them a sweater for when they're born or things like that. We'll see. Because life, I already have 40 billion ideas and projects and things going on. So why has it been 4 weeks since I posted a video here? It's been busy. It's been crazy. There's been emotional things, physical things, lots going on. I've been in this Body of 9 certification program, which is amazing and has been really fun, but also has taken up a lot of my time. I've had days like last Sunday where it was just one thing after another. I had kind of an argument in the morning at church. I work with the kids that are between like the ages of 3 and 11. And the music person who leads the music, I play the piano. She brought in instruments like they had tambourines and like things that you hit, and it was basically a lot of little percussion instruments. And she had like 14 of them, and so it was just, by the time that hour was up, I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to hear anything. I was just very super overwhelmed, overstimulated. And then we had an event at our house, so we had a lot of people coming to our house. So there was a lot of people. There was no rest for me or my ears. More stimulation. And then those people left, and we had a break, and my son came over with his kids, which was amazing. I hadn't seen them for a while, and I absolutely love my grandkids. However, I was already tired and done with noise, and my 2-year-old and 4-year-old grandchildren are high energy and lots of loudness and lots of fun, and they have aunts and uncles that play with them, and so it's all great. But oh my gosh, by the time I went to bed Sunday, I was so stinking exhausted. And I had been exhausted the day before. And then, like, the next day, I had things happening, meetings happening, and then I had a situation that caused me to have a panic attack that left me in physical pain in my heart. And so that was like another thing, and I still hadn't recovered from the weekend. And for the last 2 weeks, actually, I haven't had recovered. I had an event on the 28th of January. There was an all-day amazing event, and it's just been one thing after another. Events, appointments, emotional things, people at my house. Like, it's one thing after another, and I'm peopled out, I'm overstimulated, I'm tired, I'm stressed. I've had important paperwork that had to get done, and that important paperwork was having me in so much anxiety. I was actually avoiding it, which was just making it worse, and I finally got most of that done. So it's just been like one thing after another. I had trauma with my daughter the morning after the panic attack. So like I said, I still haven't rested. And so I hate February right now. I don't usually hate February. I don't even usually hate Valentine's Day. And I don't hate Valentine's Day. But Valentine's Day was very traumatic. Somebody put the dog outside. It was loud. I'm just tired. It's just everything. My health has been up and down. I've been taking my B12s and they've been helping some, and I've been taking my magnesium and it's been helping some, and I can't even imagine where I'd be if I hadn't been taking those all this time. Like, I don't even remember how January was. I literally can't remember January, which is really weird. My daughter can't remember it either. It's like the night before our event on the 28th is fuzzy memories. And pretty much anything before that is like, I can't fully bring memories into my mind from January. And that's not like me. So it's weird. Like, I can bring memories into my mind from December. I don't know why. January I'm done. And like the last 2 weeks, like I kind of wish I could forget right now. Not really. I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget all of that. It's just like boom, 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 one thing after another. So, yeah, I wanted to get the video in, and I was like, oh crap, I needed to do a video. It's been so long. How long has it been? I don't even know. I looked today, and yeah, it will be 4 weeks by the time this coming out, and it's just like, wow. And I still don't have... I can hear the fan in my computer, and I know that picks up on the video. Sorry, guys. Gonna pause to yell at kids to take care of the dog. So, I had tutorials. I'm kind of very angry about that. Angry at myself, and not so much my daughter. My daughter tried to make the drawings I asked for, and they did not work out how we'd hoped. She's like, those turned out way harder than I thought they would be, and I agreed. So now we gotta take pictures, and with everything that's been going on, it hasn't been a priority, and I tend to go into this, I didn't post it, is it really okay? And I'm now going into, oh my gosh, is the video even good? So I need to rewatch it and hope that I don't feel like I need to re-record it. I don't know why I do that, because once it's online, I'm just like, oh well. But if I haven't posted it, then I go into like, oh crap, I need to re-record it. So we'll see. Guys, in case you didn't know, I am human. So yeah, I've been overbusy, overstimulated, super stressed out. There's been a lot of pressure. Some of that is from outside of me. Some of that is from inside of me. Some of that is just too many things being asked of me at once. Some of that is putting off things, which adds more pressure. So then instead of relieving pressure by kind of being like, okay, well, what can I take off my plate? I'm like, oh, Cheyenne, let's do a podcast together. And she's like, oh, I'd been thinking about doing a podcast. Really? So I've added another thing, and I'm hoping once we get everything going on it, that it won't take much of my time. Right now we're having meetings on Wednesdays, and we'll either be discussing them, what we're doing and need to be doing, or actually recording, or a little bit of both. We've gotten some recording done for some things, and we have a lot we're still figuring out. She's working on logos and imagery, and I have some editing to do, video a little bit to add to it. So hopefully, and I feel like that's something we can continue to do even if big life changes happen, because do I have to consider something? I apologize for background noise. I can't do anything about it, but if they're arguing, I'll stop them. Currently, I am in the experience of single parenting. And it's not new to me. And I don't want to claim it as I am a single parent, because then that's just kind of how the universe will always hold me in that space. I think it's part of what happened in my marriage, is that throughout my whole marriage I felt like I was single parenting. And it was because for 10 years before I got married, I said I'm a single mom. So I'm really being careful how I word that. Like, I am currently experiencing being a single parent, the experience of single parenting, and I am looking forward to having someone who will support me in decisions. Okay. As such, financial responsibilities fall on my shoulders. Very overwhelming. It's why I had a panic attack. I pay my rent through the charity of others, and I hate that. I don't think that everybody involved believes that I actually care. And like I said, things are gonna get emotional. This is my reality, and we all have realities, and sometimes I think that we put too much happy goodness, perfectness on social media, and the reality of life doesn't come through. The reality of life is I experience depression and anxiety. Taking vitamins helps, and I've been doing a lot of personal development and awareness work with Body of 9, which is a training that I signed up for. I love Body of 9, like seriously. Like, I want everybody to know it and experience it, because it is so profoundly life-changing and such profound experiences. Like, because you can do your own activation, which puts you back centered in who you are, but then you can also do other activations, which changes how you see the world, what you care about in that moment. It's hugely insightful and quite an experience. If I were to do a different activation on my videos, you would experience a very different me, which could be good, but also I want to be seen as me. That tool, though, has been helping. It's been helping me heal and helping me feel better and helping me get on track. But I also have so much going on in my life. The logical, the expected, the suggested answer is that I go get a job. I have experiences. My mother worked 4 jobs and went to school while raising my brother and I when we were teenagers. My brother was wild. He made a lot of scary choices. And my mom ended up in the hospital because she was suicidal. That has set me up for great fears in life. And as a mother of 5 teenagers, the idea of working and not being here for my kids is terrifying. When I first was married, I had a job and I had a miscarriage, and there's a lot of emotions about the miscarriage, and a part of that was because of this experience with my mom as well, becoming suicidal and everything. Kind of like jobs equal death is kind of the brain patterns that I have not been able to untangle. The miscarriage didn't help that. In fact, it quite contributed to jobs equal death. I mean, like, because I had a job, I couldn't take care of myself. Because I couldn't take care of myself, I had a miscarriage. So there's some things like that going on as well. I would bawl when I would look for work after my divorce, and I would spend hours sobbing in my car because I was supposed to be looking for work, and it was so traumatic for me. So in 2019, the first part of 2019, I was doing a lot of healing work on this, and I was trying to untangle things, and I'd untangled quite a few, and was getting to a point where, and I got to a point where I could get a job. So I got a job. Yay. I got a job and started like in July, and in November, I broke my knee. Ended up on bed rest. I still have problems today. I still have pain in my knee. I still sometimes have to wear a brace because it's so bad. I still have swelling sometimes at my knee. Like, it has not fully healed. The bone break has, but all of the trauma in my knee has not fully healed as of yet. We've been working on it. I keep getting little layers of healing in there. While I was working, I would come home from work physically, emotionally, spiritually drained. I was peopled out. I was overstimulated. A lot of times I couldn't eat, so my hypoglycemia was through the roof. I have not been officially diagnosed, but I am sure I have some other autoimmune illnesses, and they were in major flare-ups while I worked there, and I came home from work and disappeared. And even on the days that I didn't have work, I was only somewhat functional for my kids. And as a mother, that's terrifying to me, because all I ever wanted to be growing up was a mom. And not just a mom, but like to be home with my kids and to love my kids and support my kids and be for them in this emotional place, not in the financial provider place. So I have all this going on, and the answers coming out for me from all the people in my world are, you need to get a job, you need to get a job, you need to get a job. Well, if I get a job, then I won't have what it takes to be here for my kids. If I get a job, I really believe that I will end up dying. I will have to quit this YouTube channel. The only crocheting or knitting I will be able to do will be on breaks at work, because I won't be able to do it after work. I know that from experience. All the times in my life I've had work, I know that that will be the case. I will not be able to do my healing business at all. I will not be able to do any of the writing I want to do, any of the videoing I want to do. Like, basically, I'm in this place where it's like, if I listen to all of the worldly advice and go get a job, I have to quit everything that matters to me. This YouTube channel matters to me. My kids matter to me. My healing work matters to me. When I do healing with people, and I forget this sometimes, because if I go through a period where I didn't have clients, like I didn't have any clients in December and in January, and I did healing work last week with somebody, and at the end I was like, oh yes, this is why I do my work, because I get to see the changes in them as they let go of this trauma and what my daughter calls spicy nostalgia, as they let go of these different things, the energies, the emotions, the beliefs, all of the things that have been holding them back, and they get to take those shifts, and I see their countenance lighten, and their being just become lighter and more who they are. It's incredible, and I feel peaceful, and I feel on purpose, and I feel alive, and I think, oh yeah, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here, is to do that kind of work, to help people. And I can't do that if I get a job. And so I'm in this place where I'm in a panic mode. I've been trying to grow this healing business for 13 years. It's really hard to grow a business when you are in desperate mode. And people don't want to work with you when you are in desperate mode, where like, I need you to be my client because I'm desperate for money. And unfortunately, that's been my life for a while. It's like, I don't have the money to pay my own rent. I have food stamps. Like, I'm like literally poverty. And so it's really hard to keep that desperation out of my healing work. And so therefore, that as soon as that desperation energy touches in, everything shuts down. And so here I am. What do I do? I also have to be really careful with my YouTube channels. I'm very appreciative of all of my subscribers. But if I ever start thinking about, I want subscribers so I can start making money, shuts everything down. You guys feel it. Maybe not consciously, but you guys feel it. I feel it. And I don't ever want this channel to be about that. Like, on the one hand, it would be nice to get money through some kind of endeavor here. Whether I figured out how to do a Patreon situation, or whether I have enough subscribers, or however. On the one hand, that sounds nice. And on the other hand, I'm like, you know what? I don't ever want to have ads on my channel. I just want everything to be free. So here I am. These are my life. This is my life. Sorry if that was too much for you. Hopefully next time I do a creative expressions, I'll just have amazing things to tell you about. Maybe I'll be able to tell you about our podcast or something else awesome going on. I'm going to link a video from the Body of 9 People, as well as hopefully use my affiliate link if you decide to follow more. It's a technique that Susan demonstrates that doesn't matter if you know your natural number or not. It's a way to help you it's basically a state change method that can help you kind of shake out when you're triggered. And it's basically like this slump and shake and breathe kind of thing, and you breathe, and people naturally, when they sit up into perfect posture, whatever perfect posture is them, they will naturally activate their natural number. So I want to share that, because like doing that, I feel better, except for the sleep. So I want to share that with you. This has been very long, lots of stuff, lots of trauma, so I don't really want to talk about some of the experiences from Body of 9. So fascinating, so cool though. Highly recommend. Remember to let your light shine through your creations, whatever they may be. Whether you're a painter or a writer or a construction worker, or you just are a mother and you created kids, or you're knitting and crocheting, tatting, diamond art, paint by numbers, or an actual painter, or anything, however you are choosing to create in your life, remember to let your light shine through it. And I'll see you guys next time.